my desire.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by, and if this is your first time here, welcome. I hope you're a returning subscriber in my next video as well. Okay, so without talking too much, you probably can already guess from the title of the video, but today's video I am just going to be talking about like my transfer experience. For those of you that don't know, I recently transferred schools from a public university to a private university, and from a federal university, let's not say public, to a private university. So I'm just going to be talking about my experience, why I transferred, when, and then how it has been. And then I also have a guest with me here, the beautiful Femidara.
Thank you.
Anyway, yeah, so we transferred together around the same time. Actually, she transferred a month before me. So I brought her as a guest so that we will talk about like the experiences together. So we can rub minds together and share experiences. Okay, so Femidara, introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Fasiru Femidara. I transferred from OAU. It's nice to meet you guys.
I transferred last year in I transferred this
January.
year. I transferred this year. I transferred in January. I officially came here January 13th. So yeah, the reason I transferred was obviously the reason everybody transfers from federal school to private
a lot
school.
of people still always ask like, why do you transfer?
Exactly. Lots of
Like,
people still ask, oh, why did you transfer? What happened?
Mainly because of the strike.
Because of the strike. That is the reason I transferred. They did not rusticate me from OAU. I was not involved in any scandal. Nothing happened. It was nothing serious, nothing deep. I just transferred because of the strike. That's all. So after I transferred, I noticed some differences. Actually, a lot of differences between like federal schools and private schools, and that is what we are here to talk about today. So I know that this like private school experience is not the same like with every private school, but I know that so many things will be like similar. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and learn one or two things. So yeah, let's get right into it. So the first thing that I noticed is the food. That's the first thing. Being like, okay, a private school student, you are not allowed to, well, in this school, you are not allowed to cook by yourself. So you have to buy food, breakfast, dinner, lunch. You have to buy every food that you
single
eat.
thing.
And that is not, for me that I have like a diverse taste in food. I don't like eating like the same thing. So like I'm being subjected to eating either rice or bread or spaghetti, or I don't know anything. It's like eating the same thing every same time. It gets like very tiring and annoying.
And also for the fact that even if you don't have the funds to eat,
Exactly.
you will just go hungry.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people have been asking me that, okay, what do you do when you are broke? Like you don't have sufficient funds. But I just tell them that if you are going to go to a private school, you already know that.
Exactly. You already know what you are getting into.
Okay, so you just have to manage your finance.
I think the cheapest thing to actually buy is fried yam. Is that?
Yeah, that would actually satisfy you.
That's like the cheapest thing to buy that would like satisfy you.
Yeah.
Is fried yam. So if you want to eat a meal that will satisfy you in this school, it starts from like at least
500 and
500. Let's just say 500.
If you don't buy meat.
Exactly. If you don't buy like meat or egg or fish,
yeah,
that kind of thing,
you'll
be satisfied with 500.
But apart from that, people seem to think it's a good thing, because if you look at when you buy food and when you also have to cook, you buy food stuff, you buy soup and everything. At the end of the day, I think the price will balance. Actually, the price would actually balance. But for me, I would still prefer to cook. Because I have variety of food for myself.
I can choose what I want to eat.
So second on the list is the dating pool. No, we'll keep that. We'll skip that for later. We'll keep it for later. Classes and lecturers.
Okay.
Let's talk about classes and lecturers. So obviously, if you are from a federal school, you already know how things are with the 1,000 students in a 500 class. So that's already like a big difference in private schools. The classroom is sufficient. Like you do not even have to rush for it. I remember when I just entered OAU in 100 level, and I was surprised that a class was by 8. And as at 7:30,
6:30, bro.
You won't find
you won't find seat to sit down again.
you will not find
6:30,
seats.
the whole place is full. I remember 1,000 seaters that time. It will not be bright out.
At
It will still be
all.
very dark outside.
At all.
I will be rushing. My first 2 days of school, I did that rubbish. I will rush for class.
6:30.
6:30, I'll get there. I won't find space anymore.
Never.
But in this
7:30
place,
max.
we're like, how many are we
It's
in?
conducive. In
It's
our
very
class, we
conducive.
are very little, so we actually have access to the whole classroom. And you know, in federal school, you have the access to say, oh, I'm going for class, because they won't notice that you didn't go for class.
Exactly.
But
In
here,
this
if you miss a
place,
class, your lecturer will say,
because they know
hello,
literally everybody.
Alright, where are you?
You
Like,
did not
already
come
come for class.
today. I didn't see you in my class today because we're small
We are
in number.
very
So
little.
like they know every single person.
Yeah.
And they take attendance every class. So that one is like
And also, the relationship between the lecturers and the students
is so much
is very
better.
important. You have like direct access to your lecturers, which is something you will not really have in a federal school, because there are too many. How can I have access to 1,000 students and like
Exactly.
know what's going on in their life?
And another advantage is like the lecturer knows you. They know like your capability. In this way, they can understand you better. They can understand how to teach you. You know, people are not the same. Every student is not the same. So like some people assimilate faster, some people do not. Some people need special attention for them to learn, and some people like grab it instantly. So in this place, your lecturer will understand you and the kind of student you are, and like it would help the lecturer help you better. But in a federal school,
OAU,
we're like 600 in a class of
10,000.
like
Let's just say 10,000. I meant 1,000.
but like 600 in a class with a capacity of like 200 people.
200 is even plenty. 150.
So like there's no way the lecturer can know every single person. Even if he knows every single person, there's no way you can focus on every single person at once. So it was not like the best condition for learning.
And I even remember that before I transferred, I used to sit on tables just to attend classes.
Bro.
Like I would sit on tables just because I wanted to listen to what lecturer was saying. So you can imagine how frustrating it was.
There
for
are
me.
sometimes I would leave my hostel and go for classes, and because there's no seats,
I would go back. I would like go home
I
because
would go.
it's not worth
back.
it.
Exactly. Imagine I
not
came
worth
for
it.
class and then I'm standing at the back. I
I can't hear the lecturer.
I can't even see the lecturer.
It's not audible. Everybody's making noise. We barely hear. So it's just like very discouraging.
It's
to
very
be honest.
discouraging. There are many times I've actually left and gone back to my hostel because like
Me, I never went back to my hostel.
I went back to my hostel.
Good kid.
I beg.
We struggle
Now-
and
now waste
survive.
of
We
time.
struggle and survive. But yeah.
Okay.
So that's that.
That is that on classes.
And it's actually a merit to private schools because of that
it's
relationship
actually a
between
merit.
classes and lecturers.
The living condition, the housing. I don't even know exactly if it's like if there are more advantages. For me, I'm at a disadvantage because I was staying in like a hostel outside of school. I had just one roommate, so I had my room to myself. I could do anything I wanted inside my room, my bathroom, my toilet, my kitchen, everything was inside my room. But in this place, it reminds me of my 100 level days. We are sharing kitchen. There's no
We're
kitchen.
not sharing a kitchen. It's not
There's
even
no
a
kitchen.
self
You
con.
can't
It's
even
actually
cook.
not a self con.
We are sharing laundry with the whole block. We are sharing toilets with the whole block. We are sharing bathrooms with the whole block. And then we're 4 in a room. And then my roommates are nice and they are cool. I actually enjoy staying with them.
She's talking about me.
But like sometimes I miss like the privacy and the fact that I could do anything I wanted. It was my apartment that I was paying for. Exactly.
Though my case is different. I stayed with 3 people outside of campus, but it was still a very fun experience because I really liked my roommates.
And then the freedom. Freedom.
When it comes to freedom, federal schools remain undefeated.
Bro.
They remain undefeated. But you see private schools,
if you know you want to
your own
come
risk.
to, it's either you choose
graduating at the
overcoming
right
strike
time.
and graduating early, or you choose your freedom. Is one of the two. I knew that okay, well, private schools were restrictive when I was coming, but I did not know it was this bad, bro. Sis,
It's I don't know how to explain it. Like it's the freedom.
It's-
See, it's basically not giving you room to be an adult. It's as simple as that.
For me, oh,
It's not giving you
they are
room
not,
to be
they are
an
not
adult.
training students for like after school life at all. They are not training students for after school life. They are not like, because they literally make every single decisions for everybody. They make
And there's a way they instill fear in you because of
Exactly.
the punishment. You know, your school fees is so
Exactly.
high. So the way they instill fear that any small thing
thing,
you are going
rustication,
home,
any small
you
thing,
are
expulsion.
you are going to behave yourself. You are going to behave
missing
yourself.
a whole semester, a whole session even because of. So and if sometimes if they don't rusticate it, they give you community service. You go and pack cow shit. Imagine people, children that like straight from secondary school, they did their WAEC jam straight from secondary school, like 16 years old, into this place. They are telling them what to do, when to wake up, how to dress, what to eat,
When to
every
wake up,
single
very
thing.
important.
Like every single thing, they are literally like telling them how to live their lives. And then like 16 to let's say 20, 21, they are graduating from here with no experience.
With no experience,
of, like,
exactly. You are
of-
graduating at 22 and you don't know what it feels like to be independent.
Exactly, you don't know
You've
experience
never
of
been
independence,
independent.
no experience of like how to live life on
Bad.
your own. I don't really like that. I mean that I have tasted the freedom in a federal
Freedom
school.
is sweet, though.
Freedom is
Freedom
sweet.
is sweet. And that's where a
Freedom
merit
is
goes
sweet.
to federal
Exactly.
school. If you are looking for freedom,
If it's for only for freedom,
Go to a
omo,
federal
I
school.
feel I can't go back to.
I tell you.
Yeah.
When I was talking about going for parties and everything, there are other things outside.
When I was in OU, I barely
social
even went out for
activities.
like parties and all that.
The freedom
But,
that
like,
you have for yourself.
It's like
is another
it's
thing.
like this. The fact that I know that I have the freedom, I can do whatever I want whenever I want it.
It also makes you make responsible choices.
Exactly, responsible decisions. So like if I feel like okay, now I don't even, if I was in OAU, it's not as if I would even be doing anything different. But the fact that I know that I do not have that freedom, that it makes it like very, I feel like choked up, like things that I
Like
didn't
you
even
have
used
no
to want.
power.
Exactly, like I have no power. It's almost like I'm in like a
Timid.
I'm in a prison sort of.
In a
like,
cage.
in a cage. They just cage me up. They lock me up here. So that one is like a very, very big no for me. So if you are someone that likes your freedom, it will be more advisable for you to stay
In
with
your federal
ASU
school.
until they decide to release you. But if you are someone that values like graduating early more than the freedom,
So next on
the list,
the list of federal schools and your private school, what do we have?
chapel services.
Chapel services.
It's your turn.
Chapel service. What can I say about chapel service? The house of my Lord.
The house of God.
Now you see, there's nothing called chapel service in a federal school. Fact. You live alone. You have your own freedom. We already talked about that.
Exactly. You
So there's
can
nobody that is going to say, oh, go to church this, go to church that. But you see, in this place, we only have, for starters, we only have like just one fellowship. And that's what we call chapel service. And
Everybody
it's
attends the same
mandatory.
church.
It's mandatory that you go for these chapel services on Wednesdays and on Thursdays. And it's as great of an offense if you do not go, to the extent that you can be given an STC form, or you might even be rusticated if you are caught.
If you are caught like missing chapel
So, me, I don't really have any problem there, but it's the way they enforce it. It's not a bad thing to go
course it is
to
not.
chapel. I love fellowshipping with fellow believers and everything like that. But you need to see the way they enforce it, that go this, go that. Like to the extent that you'll be like, is this thing compulsory? And you might even go to the presence of God grudgingly.
Exactly.
Which should not be.
That
Like,
is my issue with it. Like
You will.
we should be going to the house of the Lord willingly. But
Yes.
then like the way you are treating me and the way you are making me feel
You
like
will even make the way my mood in the presence of God somehow.
exactly.
You will make it
That is-
somehow.
I have an issue with that. And then the issue of devotion. Every morning I used to listen to, because I was a member of GLT in OAU. So there's this program
5
morning
a.m.
5:30 a.m. So like I used to wake up to do that, and then I would like after it I would sleep. But in this place, they don't care whether you have your own devotion that you used to do from wherever you are coming from.
Everybody
Everybody
devotes
has to
together.
go for morning devotion together.
So like, it makes sense.
So they don't really care whether you have something you are doing
Yeah.
from your own, like maybe you have your own practice or you have your own belief or something. You have to follow what everybody.
Don't be a traditional worshiper if you have your own.
No, not traditional worship.
And I even say something like, you basically telling me to go to church doesn't mean I am growing as a Christian.
It doesn't mean,
that I am even worshiping. I can just be there. My presence can be there.
But
so
my mind might not be there.
I think it just encourages people to be hypocritical when they enforce it that go for this. Like, people don't even know the reason why they are going for chapel service.
Exactly.
I hear so many people after chapel service and they're like they don't know why they are going. So if they are going to enforce this thing, they need to make people see why. Exactly. And they should be flexible with it. I understand the church that they are trying to build us godly, wise, but I feel like there should be another way
around
another way they are doing it, because people are just being really hypocritical about this.
Everybody
they don't know what they are.
Chapel service, like, we have to do it. Nobody.
It's just like an activity.
Exactly.
It's an activity
that we go for.
That we know every Wednesday we have this activity.
Most people don't see it as, okay, I'm actually going to church, fellowship with God. I'm actually going to church. Everybody just sees it as an activity. Something we have to do. Something we just have to. Let's just get it out of the way and move on with our day. That's how it is. That's what it has. That's what it has become. And it shouldn't be that way.
Really wish they would do better, because in my church in I also attended GLT in OAU Ife. Like, when I'm going to church, nobody has to tell me that go to this church, because I'm excited to go and worship in the presence of God. I am excited. So if they are not careful, the growth in spirituality they are trying to actually do will actually numb the person.
Exactly.
Because at a point when I'm attending this service, I'm like, oh mom, though it's not like we are coming to socialize, but I'm not actually enjoying this thing, like, to be honest. Like, I wish it could be better. I don't know why, but it was just like that for me. Though I'm trying to change my mindset, because I'm going to be here for 2 more years.
Exactly.
So I just have to
choice. We just have to
get
used
cope.
to it.
If you value spirituality and you want to pick between going to a federal school and a private school, I'm just going to ask you to do a deep research on the private school you're going to go to. But if it's going to be a federal school, no problem. There are thousands of fellowship on campus that you can,
even
like,
thousands,
hundreds. Yeah, if you include churches, maybe thousands. But it's going to be easy for you to find a church that you can join, you will flow with, and your spirit will flow with.
It's like, if you are someone that doesn't mind being directed, okay, if you feel like, okay, I actually need the push to do this, then you feel like, okay, I need someone to be reminding me, that kind of thing, then it's no problem.
It's not even this kind of reminder you need. It's not this kind of reminder you need. Do you know how they remind us that we're going for service? See, as at 6 a.m., there's like a speaker around the hostel that they start shouting, good morning. That's how they wake you up every morning. That's not the kind of reminder you need.
6 a.m.
My dear, that's not the kind of reminder you need.
Anyways, but if you are someone that likes, that would much rather, grow at your own pace, do your own thing, I feel like you understand. Let's not talk too much. Okay, so the next thing is the dating pool.
Why did I do my mouth automatically like that?
Or while you are here, you can look for your man outside also.
Don't try that one, no, man.
Only little boys and only little boys walk up to me and be like, "Can I get your number?" Of course, you can catch a lot of fish. The probability of catching a fish.
How you think fish?
No,
it's different. Yeah,
you don't just.
If you don't know it, you don't know it. If you don't know it,
I don't like it. I don't hate it. I just want to be done. I just want to leave, collect my certificate, and go.
In the sun.